So, hello, Mercedes. We are here today with Mercedes Hayduk sorry, and she is the director of Campbell River, of the district. And I would like to know, how do you describe your district? Why is special, etc.
Hi, Pablo. Thanks for having me here today. Yeah, Campbell River School District, I feel, is really unique. It is a smaller city environment, so we have everything that a city would have, including, shops, arts, culture, recreation, lots of sports. We're a very sporty city, but also we're surrounded by nature. We have the ocean on the one side, where sometimes we're very lucky and get to see dolphins and orcas in the water from the beach. And then we also have the mountains on the other side. So we benefit from having the nice mild weather of living next to the beach, but also we have 30 minutes away mountain ski resort. So really the best of both worlds. I would also say our community is very engaging, very curious about our international students, very friendly, very safe environment, very warm, welcoming people.
Okay. Tell me about Campbell River. How big it is? How many people?
We're about 50. The city itself is about 50,000 people. The school district area is a little bit broader than that, expands beyond the actual city, including some of our local islands. So 50,000 people, we have the movie theaters, we've got bowling alleys, we've got lots of restaurants. I have two teenage daughters myself. I know for them, when they want to go out with their friends, they typically hop a bus downtown, they go out for bubble tea, they go out for sushi with their friends. Those are the more popular activities for them. And then beach fires as well. We're really lucky, again, able to use that nature that surrounds us to socialize around a fire at the beach and enjoy the views.
How many schools do you have in your district for international students?
We have two high schools that welcome our international students. They're each about 900 students. I would say one of the unique things about our program is we have a small number of international students, so less than 4% international students at each of the high schools. And what that means for international students who come to study with us, it's in a school of 900 kids, there's 30, 32 international students spread out between grade 9 to 12. They have a really good chance of meeting Canadian students and making friends with Canadian students, which I think is the goal for most of our international students, is to really integrate into the community. So our schools are a great environment that way for international students. It's also a fully English immersion experience. You're only going to hear English. If I'm walking, even in this community as well, it's only English. So if I'm walking down the street and if I hear German or Spanish, I know it's my students. It's not anyone else but my teenagers. So it really is a great environment for our international students.
And how many exchange students average do you have per year?
We welcome about 65 students in total in September. They're each placed in a host family. We run our own homestay program. We know our host families very, very well. We spend actually quite a bit of time with our host families, getting to learn who they are and what's important for them. And then it allows us to spend time matching very carefully the students to the host family. Our host families are looking for students who really want a Canadian family. They want a student who's going to engage with them and enjoy the same activities that they do. And our host families really want to support the kids to make the most of their opportunities when they come to Campbell River.
So 60 something, you said 68 or
65 students.
That is what I consider a small district. So I guess, I don't know, tell me about this. Can you accommodate a special needs or petitions or whatever, like a kid who wants to play volleyball the whole year? Can you find like a private club, or I don't know, to play violin or anything like that?
Absolutely. We have actually really good relationships with a lot of our community organizations. So of course we have sports at the schools. We have volleyball academy, basketball academy, soccer academy, ice hockey academy. So kids can play those during the sports season at the high schools. But then of course we have community organizations that we're very close to. So a lot of our students will go on to play volleyball with the local crush organization, or we have students who swim competitively with our swim club. I have students who are registered in the community soccer. I even have a student who's playing ice hockey with the community organization. So really, really fortunate, again, because of our smaller size, we have these close relationships with these community organizations, and they're so welcoming to our international students.
And I know this answer, but I want you to tell us about the weather.
The weather, well, today it's beautiful and sunny, but a couple days ago it was gray and rainy and windy. So for us, we're on the west coast of Canada. So if you're thinking about a really traditional Canadian winter, that's not us. If you want a lot of snow in the wintertime, that's not Vancouver Island, that's not Campbell River. We are considered a rainforest. We've got incredible green, evergreen trees all year round, and they thrive because of our rainy winters. So we do have rain through the winter. I would say from November to March in our city, it's more rainy than it is snow. But if you want the snow, we have the mountain 30 minutes away. It's 2,000 meters, so they get snow. But we don't get that. We don't get that really cold winter that a lot of the other parts of Canada get.
How the kids move around Campbell if they want to go somewhere? Do you have like public transportation, or do people walk, or how do they do it?
It depends on where they're located. So the majority of the host families and where the kids are living is sort of the south end of town. And there is like restaurants and coffee shops in that area as well. So most students are about 15 minutes walking from coffee shops and restaurants and other shops and the beach. But if they want to come downtown for other restaurants and other activities, there is public transit. It's probably not as efficient as some of the big cities in Europe, but the students learn the scheduling, and they have to plan their timing with the bus schedule that runs every half an hour. So very easy for them to take the bus. And then, of course, a lot of our host families can pick up the students. Maybe the students take the bus downtown, host family picks them up after dinner, something like that. It's not usually a huge issue for students to get around.
And what kind of host families do you guys have? Can you explain me how do you select them, and what are the criteria?
Great question, because it's probably the most important question is how do we select our host families? So actually our selection process starts right from the initial advertising that we do. Most of our host families have worked with us for a long time, and any new families come to us through word of mouth referrals. So that's great because they know someone who's already hosting, they've heard the stories, they know about the positive experiences. And then we do an information session. We're doing one next week, actually. And so that's our first chance to meet them, is have an information session. We might have even had a phone call before that. The more points of contact we have with a new host family, the more we get a feeling for if they're going to be a good fit for our program. And then they would do an application where they would give us all the details. We would do criminal record checks on them. And then Rhonda, our student wellness and homestay advisor, would go in and do about a 1.5 hour meeting with them to really get the feeling for them in their home. What is the energy? What is the vibe of the family? Are they more strict and orderly, which suits some students, or are they super energetic and a little more chaotic, which suits some other students? And that's really what we're looking for, is we need to match the students' comfort and environment to what the host family environment is. And we know our host families really well. We just need to make sure you tell us about your students really well so that we can do our best to match them to a good family.
And do you have any special classes or something like very unique in your schools that worth to say here?
Yeah, I do. We have some really great classes that are very unique to where we live. So Campbell River is considered the salmon capital of the world. It's very famous for salmon fishing. If you come here sort of in the summer and in the fall, you'll see nothing but boats in the ocean, people fishing. And if you go to the local river, because the salmon are coming in from the ocean to spawn in the river, it's full of fishermen. And for that reason, we have a fly fishing class at one of our high schools. It's actually an English and fly fishing class together. It's 8 credits, so 2 blocks together. And students are learning to fly fish. They will go out into the river or the lakes to fish while studying English, reading novels and essays and everything. So that's one unique class that you wouldn't find everywhere. And then again, because of our location to the forest and the ocean, we have a marine biology class. So we call it Stream to Sea. The students can walk 5 minutes to the forest and study the stream, the biology of the stream, collect samples, bring it back to the classroom. But they also have a 20-minute walk down to the ocean to study the marine life and everything about the ocean. So again, using our local nature and where we live to create some very unique classes. And I would say we also have one unique club that I know is very popular for students. It's called Teen Flight, and they're building an airplane. So students from either high school can join this. It's a community club, actually. It's free for students, and they can learn to build an airplane. They've built several airplanes over the years, and so very hands-on, great for kids who are interested in engineering or aviation to come and experience that club.
Wow, I didn't know that about the plane.
Yes.
I'm looking at the picture you have in background. The kids can get the chance to surf too.
That's right. So on the west coast of Vancouver Island, there's Tofino. It's world famous for surfing. We actually just had our first teenager from there who's going on to the World Championships for surfing. So we will take our students there in May or June for a couple of days of surfing and whale watching. But some of our host families have already gone. Our host families, some of them, it's pretty popular as a location. It looks very different on the West Coast than it does on the East Coast. So it's a great trip for us to do with the students in case they didn't have the chance to go with their host family. Wonderful.
I'm sure that your district is great because I have one student with you, and I know she is very, very happy. And I'm sure a lot of kids from Spain and from Little Learn will be very happy in Campbell with you guys. So do you want to add anything, or we can finish this conversation here, and I will show this video to my students so they can choose your district.
Wonderful. Well, thanks, Pablo. I really, really appreciate the opportunity to welcome students from Spain. I think in general, they really, really enjoy the host family environment. I mean, students from Spain are looking to connect with the host family, but they also like to be social. It's it's a good balance. And I think that we offer a really safe, welcoming environment. The parents are certainly very happy with sending the students here. And hopefully the students really get a chance to make long-term connections here in Campbell River.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very, very, very much, Mercedes. Thank you for joining us for this conversation.
My pleasure. Thanks so much, Pablo.
Thank you. Bye-bye.